going on, people? It's the Xbot 448, and today, before I get this video started, I just want to give a major shout out to everybody who checked out this past Saturday's Next podcast, which it starts on my channel every Saturday at 6 p.m. This past episode was a special episode. It was Crap Gamers takeover of Next podcast, which gave them certain rights and certain privileges as a special guest on the podcast, and one of them was calling in a guest of his own, and he called in Next Gen 720. So we had a absolutely crazy show. Topics kind of went everywhere. It was just a lot of fun. It just really felt like a bunch of gamers just kind of kicking back like around a table and just bullshitting about stuff. We got into 4K TVs, the PlayStation 4 Pro controllers, Street Fighter V, and the lack of success with that title. We just got into a couple really good topics, and it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out yet, definitely check it out. And shout out to everybody who was watching live. Like you guys know, it was a crazy show. And as soon as I saw Next Gen coming in, the Zod father, I knew I could just take anything I had scripted and kind of just throw it out the window. But that's how big of a personality, both Next Gen and Crap are. And it was great to have him on the show again, actually. But let's get into today's topic. And today I want to talk about Final Fantasy VII. Now, throughout this long-standing franchise, Final Fantasy has been known as a single-player experience. Well, with this next title, Final Fantasy 15, Square Enix has decided to mix it up a little bit, and they have a co-op multiplayer that's going to be involved with this title. And at first I was kind of pulled back by that. I was like, whoa, this is a little weird. Multiplayer for Final Fantasy? I don't know how I feel about that. But then I started to think, and I started to think in the way I think about Halo 5. And a lot of people were like, there's a lot of people out there that are in this group I call Halo purists, and they just pretty much want Halo 3 over and over and over again. And franchises, they need to evolve over time, especially long-standing franchises. They have to keep putting things in, keep the heart and soul of the game, but kind of change it in certain ways to kind of still gain consumers, still keep the story going for today's time. And this is especially true with longtime franchises. I mean, even look at Mario. Mario has changed so much from the original Mario to the last one that was on the Wii U, and it's because change is needed to keep the franchise going. So with that being said, Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer, yes, I am down for that. Sounds really cool. Here's the kicker though. Square Enix decided that if you want to take part in this basically new experience on the core Final Fantasy games, right, with it being multiplayer in a co-op sense, you're going to have to pay for it. And it's not coming in with the $60 title. If you buy the season pass for Final Fantasy 15, then yes, you will be able to download the, I think it's like Comrades or something like that. I forgot exactly what it's called, but it has the co-op multiplayer in it. Now, if you don't have the season pass, I believe you're going to have to pay for the DLC. What? This is where I was like, you know what? Fuck Square Enix, yo. No doubt. And this is the reason why. Alright, you're going to come and introduce a multiplayer aspect to a title, which I am all for, right? So it's something new. Multiplayer is basically a standard in a lot of games that comes with the core game. Alright, so if you're trying to introduce people to a multiplayer mechanic that you will eventually use, like throughout Final Fantasies and stuff like that, why would you make people pay more for your introductory multiplayer into the franchise? I don't get that. It pisses me off. Like, that makes no sense in terms of marketing and everything like that. If it's something that you are considering to keep in the franchise for future titles, how are you going to have people pay more for it on your introductory multiplayer to the core franchise? I know they've had spin-offs that were multiplayer here and there or whatnot, Yeah, I get that. But see, this is your bread and butter right here. This is the Final Fantasy, you know? And I just think it is bullshit, basically, to put this behind a paywall. You know, people have been talking about paywalls even since last generation, you know, when it came to Xbox 360 with Netflix and stuff like that. Paywalls have a negative effect on consumers. And to take something that should inherently be a core part of the game, if you're bringing multiplayer into the game, multiplayer is a core part of a game, and especially co-op. That's really the one way you're going to put multiplayer into a core Final Fantasy game. To have people actually pay for it is complete and utter bullshit, yo. I'm actually surprised because this news came out, you know, last week or whatnot. I'm surprised more people haven't made videos about this, haven't tried to put it out there to gamers that this is kind of insane and why are they doing this, you know? But that's what I'm here for. Like, I looked at that, I was like, yo, that's not really for the consumer, that's not really for the gamer. Why are you making people pay extra for multiplayer? But that's pretty much the topic for my video today. You know, as usual, hit up the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think it's fair for them to do such a thing? Do you see what I'm saying? If you're trying to introduce a multiplayer aspect into your franchise with a title, you shouldn't have people actually pay more for it, because it just kind of looks like a cash grab. I'm saying, yo, hit up the comment section. Let me know how excited you are for Final Fantasy 15 as well. And did this put it over the top with your excitement? Is that hype train gaining now because there's going to be co-op multiplayer? You know, as usual, give the video a thumbs up if you like the content, you like the topics. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. But as for now, this is the Xbot 448, and I am definitely signing off.
From the balcony to the flagstones below. And as the